Thanks to my partner Tai Jiaen, and I will carry on to introduce the China copyright law, our origins, what is on style and employment right now. Let's take a look around China here. Comparison to the United States copyright law and other Western countries, the history of China copyright law is quite short, only 25 years since 1990. When in 1982, after China had joined into the Berne Convention, the copyright law in China has been modified for 7 times. The first time in October 27, 2001, the second one in February 26, 2010. They already had their third amendment in 2012. However, it can only in draft but not implement. The biggest influence of the more rights that is designed to use the right of attribution to replace the revision. But no matter how they modify the act, there's only one purpose to make the law. In order to developing the culture and technology under socialist watch, they put this principle significantly list on their Article 1, which means could be the Chinese own style of memorial rights. Next page, please. In this page, our study compared to the China own style memorial rights to standard set of Western mainstreams, including the Berne Convention. As you can see, the China copyright law contains the 4 dimensions of the memorial rights: authorship, revision, integrity, and publication. However, we already know 3 of them: authorship, integrity, and publication. How about revision? And what is that? As we know about, there's no revisions in Western style memorial rights as we're familiar, especially under the public server purpose of the sovereign doctrine for serving the people. This nation allowed the author to modify his work or to assert others to instead of him as long as for server association. Furthermore, there's no attribution and windthrow ideas in China copyright law neither. We guess the right of integrity should be covered of them. And the last, the Berne Convention could be the lightest protection in these acts. Only the right of authorship and the right of integrity. Next page, please. Let's take a look at our first case. Wu Guanzhong sued Do Yinxuan, a gallery in Shanghai, and Yongcheng Guwan, an antiquarian collection company in Hong Kong. I will introduce this case to elaborate what's the differences between the right of revision and attribution under the China copyright law. In the beginning, the plaintiff, Wu Guanzhong, is a famous painter who very high reputation in China art market, and the defendant Do Yinxuan and Yongcheng Guwan were both to co-host the auction of Chinese temporary calligraphy and painting in China in October 1993. These artworks are provided by Do Yinxuan. After this auction, they published the painting into picture album and central other unique. Next page, please. In the same time, the plaintiff was noticed that the painting in the auction has entitled The portraits of Mao is fairly a tribute to him. However, the plaintiff already announces that wasn't his work. The plaintiff sued for injunction for the sale, a public apology, and large monetary damages. Therefore, the court decided that the defendant saw a forged painting was a direct infringement of the plaintiff's attribution right. It leads to the plaintiff won the case. In the end of my portions, I will leave the rest to my non-partner. She will continually to expand the revision and integrity in other cases. Thank you.